Hey, this is Dan with Guardian Mold Prevent, and I want to take a look with you at a home located in Wheaton, Illinois. This is a property that had a fairly severe mold problem in the basement, and we were called in to take care of it and to remediate the problem. Now you can see here we're in the basement, we're looking up at the ceiling, and if you look closely at the floor joists or the underside of the first floor deck, you can see the lower portions of the wood has dark discoloration and mold growth. This basement was actually a finished basement. There was drywall all over, and the homeowner, prior to our arrival, actually had the basement gutted, which is not advisable because the porous material containing mold growth, once it's disturbed and torn apart, it will loft spores into the air and create pretty much a nightmare when it comes to air quality. So we're kind of cart before the horse on this project, but we came in to help this homeowner. We're looking now into the crawl space that's connected to the basement, and they have the same problem on the floor joists in there and also on the sheathing. And there's also a little bit of drywall that's on the underside of the first floor in the crawl space. And in any case, the homeowner needed us to come in and to rectify the situation because they realized once they got into this project that they were kind of in over their heads. So I want to talk about a couple of things before we look at the after pictures. When we're talking about mold remediation, we have to classify building materials in three different categories. You've got porous material like drywall, trim, and insulation. And then you've got semi-porous, which would be your wood framing members, and non-porous materials like foundation walls and floors. Now, in terms of the actual process, we come in and we set up containment so that we actually isolate the problem into a space that's separated from the rest of the living space. We put in an air scrubber or a negative air machine that keeps that air from exchanging with the rest of the living space while we're working. We then treat semi-porous and non-porous materials with a biocide and then coat them with a mold-resistant coating. Now you'll see here in the after pictures, this is back in the crawl space, the underside of the first floor deck, the joist and the sheathing, they were scrubbed with a biocide and then coated with a white acrylic-based mold-resistant coating. We also treated the foundation walls in this particular crawl space as there was quite a bit of discoloration on them. And then in the deep basement as well, we went around, we treated all of the exterior foundation walls and the underside of the first floor deck with a biocide, scrubbed them down, and then we put on an acrylic-based mold-resistant coating. This homeowner was far more confident, having used a professional, certified, insured mold remediation company, that we were going to be able to get the air quality back to an acceptable level and get all the surfaces in the basement clean and essentially free from mold growth. The big thing that sets us apart from regular Joe handyman that tries to tackle a mold remediation project really is our attention to the air quality. We're looking really quickly at a negative air machine or an air scrubber. It's a machine that has a 12-inch HEPA filter, a pleated filter, and also a pre-filter, and it runs the air through any given space 4 times an hour and removes all of the mold spores.